multiple windows here with the Facebook Live. Okay, everybody, we're going to get started in just a second. I'm getting us going on the Facebook feed. Okay. Oops, now I lost you guys. Okay, perfect. So I think we should be streaming live on the Advocate Forum, and I see we've got lots of people on here live on the Zoom webinar. So hi everybody, I'm Vanessa Bowden, Regional Sales Manager. If we haven't met yet for the Northeast region, and I'm super excited to be introducing Mr. Darin Kidd tonight. I know that we've been very, very anxious for this training tonight, and we're super excited to kick off our special Blitz trainings that are going to be happening every single Thursday night at 9 p.m. for the rest of the month of July. Each week we'll have a different topic that we're going to focus on and have some really specific training and give you some action steps to just head out and really crush it with that strategy for that week. So if for those of you who have never been trained or met Darin Kidd before, you are in for a treat today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about his background, and I have some very impressive stats here from his bio. And I have worked with him personally in the past. I know what I'll just speak from my heart for a second, and then I'll tell you all his specifics. But he's an amazing leader. He's a servant leader. He's really been out there in the trenches and in the field doing exactly what all of you do on a daily basis. So there's lots of trainers that come, into this industry sometimes who haven't done the do, so to speak, who haven't been out there and built large teams and gone through the ups and the downs of this industry. But Darin's not one of those. Darin's a leader that has been out there. He's done it. He's done it himself. He has had some massive success. He's been seven-figure earner in the industry. He's earned multiple awards. He's an amazing speaker. He's been featured in Success from Home magazine 6 different times, featured in the book, The 4-Year Career and Big Dreamers. He's been written up in lots of different media posts. He's had extreme success and built extremely large organizations in the network marketing industry. And he just frankly knows his stuff. So I hope that you will get a notebook out, get a pen out, make sure you're gonna take some notes. You definitely don't wanna rely on your memory tonight. You definitely wanna make sure that you are writing down everything that he says as quickly as he says it, so that you can go out there, put this into action, and really just have an amazing week using the ATM strategy that you're gonna hear all about. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Darin Kidd.
All right, Vanessa, thank you so much. I hope everybody is having a great day, and definitely excited. I just got back from your corporate office and was able to, visit with Sterling and Meredith and Sarah. And you all are very blessed to have Vanessa, Sarah, Meredith, Sterling, your whole corporate field or corporate team, and the leaders that I see that are joining on the chat. So I'm excited. Now, listen, you hear my story and people, and it's always weird for me for people to say nice things about me because I know I'm just an average person with a way above average desire. And so when you hear the money I've made and the teams I've built and the magazines and all that, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But I want to share with you the story behind the story. So if any of you tonight are sitting here going, man, can I actually build a legit business? I'm busy. I've got a family. I've got a career. I've got multiple jobs. Well, let me share with you. My first 7 years, I failed. And I failed hard and I failed often, and got to the point after 7 years of not having a mentor. We didn't have the internet. I was a distributor for 28 years. And I know some of you are like, Darin, you look like 25 years old. How's that possible? Now, I can't hear you saying that, but I'm just assuming you're saying that, right? Which bonus tip, have fun, right? Lighten up and your sales brighten up. But for 7 years, I failed. We got to the point where I was bankrupt. My car was repossessed. We were on Medicaid. We were applying for food stamps, on government assistance. I'm a college dropout. My wife's a college dropout. And we still live in a little town in Virginia, which has, I think we're up to 5 traffic lights. It's actually, I think, 1,500 people in the actual town, 10,000 in the county if you go out and count all the farms, so it's not a big area. And so here I was, depressed, went to the doctor for depression because, I couldn't feed my kids, couldn't support my wife, couldn't keep a job, failed at network marketing for 7 solid years. I didn't have a lot of hope, but then thank God someone came into my life, some mentors that taught me what to do, what not to do, that completely changed everything. So now my wife and I, we have 5 kids, which may explain why I don't have a lot of hair. And by the way, I'm sorry for the lighting. When we build a new house, it's definitely going to be different lighting, no matter how I turn it down. You may have to put the sunglasses on. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm completely okay with that. But 5 kids from 27 down to 12. Matter of fact, the 12-year-old was grabbing my hand before I jumped on here. I was like, let me see. And she's got a pedicure kit, and she was like messing with my cuticles. And I'm like, man, you jacked up my cuticle right before I go on live, right? And but anyway, family is everything. But when the 21-year-old was born, we were bankrupt. And so when you have mentors that come into your life, so I was a distributor for 28 years. I no longer build any company. I do training as of last year. And so the great news, you've got leaders that are on here with you tonight, like Vanessa and Sarah, myself, and I see different leaders' names in the chat. I'm not going to start naming, I'll miss someone, that have been out there and done that. And so if you have to walk through a minefield, you want to make sure that you follow someone that's already been through that, so you know where to step and where not to step. So my passion is helping those people, because I wish I had that. I wish I didn't spend 7 years trying to figure out what to do right, to finally have someone go, no, do it this way. So I want to help shorten your learning curve. I want to help compress time frames. And I can't see any of you, but I can imagine if I got you to raise your hand and I could see you, and I go, how many of you would like to get to where you want to be, achieve your goals and your dreams sooner than later? And I would bet that all of you would raise your hand, right? And then I would say, hey, look, do I have permission to coach you? You know, can I tell you, do you want me to tell you what you need to hear or what you want to hear? Maybe you can put that in the chats, right? And you're on here. So you're like, look, Darin, just tell me what I need to do. So I think that's important. That's the only reason, like, I'm like, okay, it's okay to say those things about me in the introduction. You know, I personally recruited over 1,000 people. I was recognized in top 10 retention. I built big teams around the world, you know, and all of that, because a lot of times we don't have the time to really train on exactly what Melissa says, what we need to hear. There we go, Melissa. Candace says yes. Lydia says high five. All right. So what happens, because we don't have a whole lot of time, there are things that I will tell you, and you don't have to understand why it works as long as you trust the source. And that was me. I'm like, you know what? If you buy people's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. So if they don't have what we want, why do we listen to them? Doesn't that make sense? It's like, why would any of you listen to me if I go, hey, if you stay on an extra 30 minutes, I'm going to give you my top 5 hair care tips. You're not going to stay on for that. You're like, Darin, I'm not going to listen to you. You have no hair. So but I know that if someone has the lifestyle that I want, whether it's the physical fitness or spiritual or business, I'm gonna listen to what they tell me to do, and I'm gonna do it as long as it's honest and ethical. And so I'm gonna share some things with you that really can help save you a lot of heartache, can save you a lot of time, energy, and effort. And so if you're ready, let me see in the chat. Let's go. And the reason I like to keep you engaged, hey, Link, and Tracy says, trust the process. You're exactly right. The reason I try to get you engaged and keep you engaged, because Tony Robbins talks about your state, and we've linked that to how we learn. And so if you can stay engaged, I would encourage you to sit up straight like I am, you know, and kind of lean forward and take notes. And really the only way we can engage virtually is by you moving your body. If your body's moving, your brain is grooving. I learned that from Jim Quick, the brain health expert. So let's talk about your business. Now, here's the great thing about your Green Compass business. My wife and I, we had some franchises, and they were frozen yogurt franchises. And by the way, when I share with you that I understand what you're going through, pretty much from every aspect, there's not too many. There's probably nothing that you could do wrong that I hadn't done it 10 times. I could write a book on what not to do. But there are people go, Darin, I'm busy. I'm like, really? We have 5 kids. When I built my biggest team, we had 2 franchises. We had spent $700,000 in. We had all these employees, all the overhead. One of them was 6 hours plus away in Knoxville, Tennessee. One was in Culpeper, Virginia. They were a frozen yogurt franchise, and life was crazy busy. But if you build it right and you work smart and you work hard, you have the ability, because we were generating more income in 1 month in this profession than we were both those franchises combined in a year. That's why I'm like, when we sell these, I never want another franchise if I can help it, right? And so first of all, it's treating it like a business. How many of you have never had your own business? How many of you, this is your first time in network marketing? I would say it's probably quite a few of you. See a lot of me's in the comments. Well, that was me. So when people go treat it like a business, I got frustrated because I didn't know what that meant. And so I would say almost like treat it like a minimum wage job. Like if you knew you had a minimum wage job, you needed that job, you would show up on time, you would work during the hours that you need to work, you would work up into the time that you clocked out. And so the challenge with what we do, and I'm just being completely transparent, okay? Hopefully Sterling and Meredith won't like say you can never work with the field again after I do this training, but I'm telling you it's for your own good. I want to be transparent. I want you to know what to expect as you're building your business, because then you're going to know, oh, okay, that's normal. It's not just me. So the challenge is when you invest money in a franchise, you're in it to win it. You're going to work 8 to faint, can to can't. You're going to hope and pray you're still in business 5 years from now. Hope and pray you got your money back. Quitting's not an option. How do you get started in your Green Compass business? It's basically, I'm in. That's it. I mean, for a fraction, for this much of an iPhone, you can get started, right? Not even a whole iPhone. You can get started in your business. So how do you get in? I'm in. How do you get out? I'm out. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. So I'm just telling you, treat it like a business. If you bought a McDonald's and they go, listen, you're standing at the counter, for all of you right now, if you pretend you're standing at the counter at McDonald's, the fry machine is on which side? The left side. The shake machine is on the right side. The cheeseburger's in the yellow wrapper, right? I mean, some of y'all need to stop eating the McDonald's if you knew all those answers. No, I'm just kidding. We all know those answers because 30,000 McDonald's, if you want the success that they have, you follow their system. So there are simple systems that you do when you build your business, but you have to trick your mind to go, no, this is a business. I'm going to treat this as if I invested $500,000 in a franchise. And so no matter what however many hours you have to work your business, it's just about treating those hours serious. I know people that only have 10 hours a week to work their business. And some of that is not going out going, I only work my business. It's also being a busy, parent like I am, and you just work it while you're out. So it's just treating the time that you have serious. And let me give you a couple more tips. I'm just trying to set you up because see, if I don't get your philosophy right, the way you think, and some of you, you may be like me, hey, skip the hype, skip the attitude stuff. Let's just get to the strategy. Strategy is the least important beyond why are you building your business, the right attitude, the right philosophy, all of that comes first because the how-tos are very simple. But if you don't have the right attitude, the right philosophy, that's going to drive your behavior. Your behavior, good or bad, is going to drive your results. And here's the frustrating thing. It's doing simple things like we're going to roll out something for you where you don't even have to put any thought into it, right? You just got to go, hey, am I in or am I out? And you just follow that system and you're going to be amazed at what happens over the next 30, 60, 90 days. How do I know? Because it's not theory. I've done it over and over and over for 20 plus years, right? So what to remember when you're out there doing what we're going to teach you, you want to focus on the activity because you can't control the results, but the results will come. So when you're doing the simple things that we're telling you, what's frustrating is you're on here tonight, you jump off, you're not going to see a massive difference in your business and someone that didn't show up, right? You're exposing people, you're participating in each of the weekly blitzes. You do it, they don't, you're not going to see a big difference right away. So that was me. I'm like, man, why am I doing all these things that they tell me to do? I'm very coachable. I'm willing to work. I've got desire, but yet our business is pretty much looks the same and they're not even being serious. But over a period of time, it's like the penny a day and doubling it for 30 days. When I ask my little girls, hey, look, would you rather have $1 million in cash or a penny a day and double it for 30 days? One of them said $1 million in cash. And the other one said, I guess I'll do the opposite, a penny a day. Well, if you did the $1 million in cash, you lost about 10 million because the compounding effect of that penny. So when I was doing those things, you're doing those things. Remember, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. All of a sudden, my business, after several months, started doing this. Their business did this. They quit and then had the nerve to say, I got lucky. You will have the same thing happen to you. And in your mind, you're going to be nice. You're going to be kind. You don't burn a bridge, but you're going to be thinking luck had nothing to do with it, right? The harder you work, the luckier you got. But I was just willing to do what you weren't willing to do to eventually have what you don't have. And that's been my motto. I will do today what others won't to have tomorrow what others don't. So let's talk about the timing of where we are. Network marketing, in my opinion, we have never been in a place like we are right now. I mean, think about this. Before COVID, did we ever have to convince someone or sell someone really on, hey, you may want to think about having a plan B. You may want to think about making some extra money to save and invest. You may want to think about finding a way to work from home, right? What if you get laid off? You never have to sell that ever again. If they don't see the opportunity now or the need, then you don't need them, right? You're looking for the lookers, as Jim Rohn said. So really the market is completely open. And when they're going, man, I need to make some extra money, they're definitely not thinking about going out and opening up a traditional business or a franchise, because then they have to open up with leases. And what just happened? Businesses were shut down. The world was shut down. They couldn't even get into a business. And we saw businesses that have been 10 years old that are struggling to stay afloat, or they went under during this time. So here you have the best profession, $180 billion industry, over 100 years old, right? Over 100 million people participate. And now the market is more open than ever before. So they're looking for a home, right? And you have the answer to that solution, right? Then you've got a company that is building a phenomenal foundation. I got to be honest, I called my wife and I'm like, wow, this is an impressive company. Man, their products are top notch. The owners, their hearts, like they care about the field. They want to help the field. When I talk to the leadership and your PFs and some of your leaders, they're like, I mean, they're servant leaders and they're good people, because culture, you attract what you are and you repel what you're not, and they're attracting great people. Now, one thing that I did wrong for quite some time was going into the summer months, I would let myself off the hook and say, you know what, it's summertime. There's so many distractions. Kids are out of school. Vacations are starting. Well, there's more distractions this summer than ever before. But when I had mentors of mine saying, Darin, you can use your family, because I got to spend time with my family. Well, I thought your kids were your reason. I didn't know you're going to use them as your excuse, right? And it's not like you don't spend time with your family, but it's you're making use of every minute that you have. So when I learned that in the summer months, if you stop planting seeds, you have no harvest in the fall. And the fall is one of the best times of the year for this business. And it's like sitting on a racetrack. If you're sitting on a racetrack and the light is yellow, it's summer, there's a lot of distractions. So remember this, sometimes you can work twice as hard during the summer months to see half of the results. I'm just being honest, but it doesn't mean the results aren't there. It just means that you planted the seeds. You don't plant seeds today and look for a harvest tomorrow. You planted the seeds, you cultivated the ground, you watered the seeds, then you're going to have a harvest in the fall. But if I'm on a racetrack and the light is yellow and I'm using this as an excuse for me letting myself off the hook, right? And I said I didn't use my family as an excuse, I used them as my reason. Then I'm pushing through the summer months. You're going 70, 80 miles an hour. I'm at a dead standstill, not working through the summer. Come fall, I will never catch you when the light turns green. You will most likely lap me. And the hardest part of building your business is getting it off the ground. I'm just telling you, that's the hardest part. If you've ever had a car break down or run out of gas, it's in neutral, you're trying to get it out of the highway, you give it everything you can just to get it to move a little bit. Once you get it, you've stretched and you've stressed and strained and slipped skint your knee and you're sweating, and you finally get the car moving, you can take one hand and keep it moving. An airplane uses most of its fuel taking off. When it gets to cruising altitude, it cuts back. So it takes that boost during the summer to really gain momentum. Momentum is hard to get, but it's easy to advance once you get it. So we want to help you with how to work through the summer months, right? Do little simple things that anyone can do no matter how busy you are. Let the systems do some work for you, right? And then 30, 60, 90 days from now, it's something about 90 days. When I coach people and they go, man, what do? I go, let's look at a 90-day roadmap. And everyone will say, I will do a 90-day roadmap. Like, you tell me what to do for 90 days. We can do anything for 90 days. Well, commitment is doing the thing we said we would do long after the feeling in which we set it in has passed. It's easy to get excited for a moment, but the majority of the time, you're not going to be motivated like every other person. You're not going to feel like it like most people, right? But that motion creates emotion. Commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling in which you said it in has passed. There's a difference between being committed and involved. If you ate eggs and bacon for breakfast this morning, the chicken was involved, the pig was committed. And some of you will get that later, a little humor, or attempt at it. My dad jokes, I got them for days. So anyway, we want to give you this roadmap and show you how in 90 days, you will be shocked. I have seen people, and I've experienced it myself, who go 90, I'll give it all I have, and look back 90 days from now and don't recognize where they were 90 days. So many great things happen. But it takes about 60 to 90 days to start to see that snowball start to grow, and that snowball coming down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then if you get in front of it, you become a part of it. But people get excited for a few days normally, and they get discouraged, and they focus on results, and they let the car come to a complete halt. Then what happens? They get excited. The company launches a new product, a new promotion. You have someone call you out of the blue saying, I'm ready to run with this thing. And then you're excited again. You have to start pushing that car all over again. You will never create momentum like that. So what we've done, most people are like me. If you go, Darin, can you run a marathon? No. Do you want to run a marathon? No. Darin, somebody's going to chase you and they're going to kill you if you don't run a marathon. I'm going to die because I don't want to do that. But if you ask me, can you run from your front door and sprint to the mailbox? We don't have one, but the neighbor's mailbox. Yes, I can do that. Well, once you get there, can you sprint across the street? Yes, I can do that. Down the neighborhood? Yes, I can do that. By the inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's too hard. So there are blitzes that we did, like we're going to share with you, that I did one time, and I look back and they paid me for years because we pushed each other. We moved the needle as an organization and a company to do little teeny burst assignments, right? Giving people something to focus on so they can just, it's a no-brainer. We could take our brain out and we still would understand. So what we're going to do, forget 90 days. I just wanted to paint you a picture like summertime is one of the best times of the year to gain market share. So it depends on really what you want. If you're happy going, look, I just want to make an extra few $100s a month, that's okay, right? You don't have to put in as many hours and as much work. But if you go, no, I want to be able to have financial freedom and I have time freedom, then everything we're going to teach you is very simple. It's work, but it's simple. It's something that you can do. It's something that anyone can do. And it was so simple that back when I first learned about blitzes and they gave me little simple assignments, first I did was see if I liked it. Well, do I think that's effective? And I'm like, later on, I'm like, what the heck am I thinking, right? Like, what difference does it make what I think? They've had success. I haven't. If they say this is important, I'm going to completely sell out and I'm going to lead by example. And even if you don't have a team, I used to say things like, well, it really doesn't matter. I don't have a team. So no one's going to know if I do it or I don't do it. And then my mentors taught me, they go, Darin, the attitude comes before the money. The money doesn't come before the attitude. The team, the attitude comes before you build a team. You don't attract what you want, Darin. You attract what you are. And if you want to make more, you need to become more. Is that making sense? Let me know. Let me know if it's making sense. So now, forget 90 days. I just want you to have the mindset, okay, I can do anything for 90 days. I would recommend you find an accountability partner. And you share with each other, and you go, Darin, get to the blitz. Trust me, this is going to help you stick and stay, right? This is going to help you stay strong enough, long enough. Find someone or some others that you want to share why you're building the business. If I sat down with you right now and I go, you know what? Tell me what's most important to you in your life right now. Share it with me. What would you say? Right? It's not the money. You're not doing Green Compass for the money. You have to put an emotional attachment for the money, right? You have to put an emotional attachment. For me, okay, it was, we grew up, we never had money. My dad passed away on his deathbed saying, someday we'll go do this, someday we'll go do that, and someday never came, right? Someday never came. But I've learned that some people's some days are other people's every days. And someday leads to a town called nowhere. And so when I told my daughter, someday we'll go to Disney World, and we have a big Coca-Cola plastic piggy bank, and we're putting change in it. And I got so desperate. We went in once, she came into my bedroom, and my wife and I were on our hands and knees going through the change to get enough to get some food. And she runs out of the room crying because daddy is taking her money for Disney World, right? And I remember being on my hands and knees and looking up going, God, how could I get this low to where I'm taking my child's money? That was the day. Sometimes it doesn't hurt bad enough. I mean, how many people agree? We got friends and family, they won't even participate in their own rescue. You throw in the life jacket, they won't even grab it, right? It's like the farmer. They're walking by his house and he's on the porch in a rocking chair. And they go, mister, your dog is on a nail. He's laying on a nail. And he goes, don't worry about it. When it hurts bad enough, he'll move. Tony Robbins says breakthroughs happen when they have to happen. So that was my day of disgust. That was the day I drew a line in the sand and go, you know what? Other people can quit on their family. I refuse to quit on mine. I will not use my kids and my wife as an excuse. I will use them as a reason. And I went and put on my wall, I will until. And a mentor of mine said, Darin, success is buried right underneath frustration. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, I have to be close because I can't get any more frustrated. So find an accountability partner and share with them why you're building the business. For some people, it was one, the mom, her child was getting bullied at school and it was ripping her heart out, but she couldn't afford to put him in a different school system. Or maybe you want to change into a safer neighborhood. Maybe you want to feed your kids healthy, your family healthy foods. It's expensive. Whole Foods shouldn't be called Whole Foods. It should be called Whole Paycheck, right? Maybe you want to retire your spouse because their job is killing them, the stress. You want to give more to a church or to a charity. Why are you building the business? Maybe you just want to eliminate debt. You're sick of that dark cloud of money hanging over every decision that you make, right? I was so sick of getting spiritual at the ATM, right? Oh, please God, let there be $20 in my bank account because it makes you take it out in $20 increments. So share with them why you're building the business. That's going to help you stay strong enough, long enough when you feel like quitting. And I would rewind that video in my mind of my daughter running out of the room crying, going, no, I will do today what others want to have tomorrow what others don't. I will until. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So find an accountability partner and ask them, hey, when things get tough, what do I have permission to say to you, right? And it could be, hey, Darin, go look at your wife and kids tonight while they're sleeping and ask yourself, are you man enough to keep going? Or are you just going to quit and cry about it, right? Whatever it may be, they give you permission. You can hold each other accountable. And the good news, most of the time, both of you won't quit on the same day. So you can keep encouraging each other and push each other to the bank. Now, forget 90 days. I just wanted to get you mentally prepared for what we're going to roll out. And I would ask you to completely sell out, lead by example. I would also, here is the challenge that I've given multiple organizations in the last week. I was listening to a top brain health expert and also like next level leadership, like phenomenal, turned around professional teams. One of the challenges when he went in, he goes, listen, from here on out, while I'm here, there's no negativity. No negativity. Okay, 1 ounce of doubt, you're out. One negative comment is 14 times stronger than 14 to 17 times more powerful than a positive. 14 to 17 times. When you have a negative thought, it's 4 to 7 times more powerful than a positive. When you verbalize it, it multiplies it tenfold, which means there's 40 to 70 times more likely it's going to happen, right? And again, there's all the science behind it. You don't have to understand why, just trust the sources. And so the next 30 days, the next 90 days, no negativity. Catch yourself, think about your self-talk, think about what you say, not I can't afford it. What about how can I afford it? I can't recruit. I can't get a customer. I can't build this business. I'm too busy. Your brain wants to be right and it will go to work to make sure it's right. So if it goes, I can't afford it. Yeah, here are all the reasons you can't afford it. Here are all the reasons you can't recruit. Here are all the reasons you can't get a customer, right? So think about what you're thinking about. No stinking thinking. If you're thinking of stinking, your team is shrinking, right? And you got to take a checkup from your neck up. No negativity. Don't let anyone call you. Be very intentional about your associations for the next 90 days because your associations are like an elevator. They lift you up or they bring you down. So I had to ask myself, what are my associations doing to me, or what are they doing for me? Now let's talk about the Blitz. Now that I went all the way around, right, all the way around, let's talk about the Blitz. And the way you build a big organization is you do simple things that have the ability to compound. So we're going to launch with the ATM Blitz. And why is the ATM powerful, right? The ATM is powerful because it used to be, it was an average of 4 exposures before somebody purchased or made a decision. Now the numbers, then it was like 5 to 8 for a while. Now the numbers, because we have so much digital media and so much competition and things like that, I believe I heard him say it's like 16 exposures, 16. So the great thing about the ATM, when you're tagging them in the video, you're putting them in a group, and I will let Vanessa give you all the details, and we're going to give you the scripts, very simple. You don't complicate it. What happens is they're getting multiple exposures on a weekly basis. So it's like you're continually dripping on those people. So we're asking you, first Blitz, this is all we want you to focus on. Then we'll roll out a second one next week and a third one the next week. And so the next thing you know, you've run a marathon, but you're just sprinting from your front door to the mailbox and across the street. Let me know if that's making sense. So we're just asking you for the first 5 days, and you don't have to let your minimum be your maximum. Because remember, if you want to build a big business, what are you doing? Let's not complicate it. You're taking people from not knowing about Green Compass to knowing about Green Compass. You're taking them from not knowing about your products to knowing about your products. It's really that simple. And you're using third-party tools, right? So if your mouth is moving, if your fingers are tapping, you need to be pointing to something else. You're the commercial to get them to look at the movie. That's it. If we open their franchise together, it's a yogurt franchise. Do we really care if someone likes yogurt? No, we still want them to know we have it because they're going to know someone that does like it. So that's all you're doing is taking them from not knowing to knowing. So 5 a day over the next 5 days. That's 25 exposures. You're taking them from not knowing to knowing. You use the script, but you add a minimum of 5 people just for 5 days. We're not even asking you to do it over the weekend, right? Now, I would encourage you, when they used to give me challenges like this, I at least did it 6 days, and I would never do the minimum. But if you do the minimum, we're happy, right? Because you stretched yourself. And a rubber band, if you stretch a rubber band as far as you can without snapping it, it never goes back to its original shape. And so when we're giving you these blitzes, every week you're stretching a little bit more. And you're getting, maybe it's a little uncomfortable. That's awesome. You want to embrace being uncomfortable because our comfort zone is designed to keep us safe, not to help let us grow. And a comfort zone is a great thing, but nothing grows in a comfort zone. Everything you want in your life is outside of your comfort zone. So you, just when I'm in the gym and I'm having a hard time, my son, and I've heard multiple people say this, but he's a trainer. He's like, get comfortable at being uncomfortable. And so what I start doing is thinking about the benefits of me being uncomfortable. I'm like, this is awesome. It's strengthening my heart. It's boosting my endorphins. It's doing all these things, right? And so embrace the challenge, 5 a day for the next 5 days. Now, if you have an organization and you go, well, what difference does this make? That's 25 people that heard the story, 25. And then we give you another one next week. When you look and we piece all these together through the month of July, you're going to be pretty excited about, it's about progress, not perfection, right? I'd rather have some progress than no progress. Are you going to be bad before you're good? Are you going to learn? Absolutely. I knew that every great network marketer was a bad network marketer in the beginning, but they got a little bit better and a little bit better. A rocket is off track on the way to the moon 97% of the time, but it continues to readjust. So if you have a team, an organization, and I'm talking to you, let's say I'm talking to Tracy, all right? And Tracy said, yes, I can run to my mailbox. Great job, Tracy. We can run to the mailbox, and we can race to the mailbox. You'll probably beat me. And so let's say I'm talking to Tracy. I don't want to leave my financial future in anyone else's hands. Green Compass, their job is not to promote. They're doing so many things to support you, right? Let them do what they need to do, develop the products and comp plan and systems and all that. If all they had to do was send out an email, they wouldn't need anybody else. But that's why they need you. You want to be a great promoter. Promotion is one of the highest paid skills, being a great promoter in this business. So I'm calling Tracy going, hey, Tracy, listen, did you hear about, the promotions for the month? Okay. Did you hear about the Blitz that we're doing this week? And you want them to know tonight because you don't want them to miss one single day, right? And so yes or no, is that something that you want to do? Or are you in? So if you go through, and I'm talking about organization because the day is July 2nd, unless you're watching this on replay, and I'm going, hey, listen, where are you now? Where do you want to be by the end of the month? Where do you want to be? What rank? What type of income? Are there any bonuses that you want to go for? I know the company's got some bonuses in place. And is that something you want to do? Well, heck yeah. And remember, everyone is tuned in to their favorite radio station, WIIFM. WIIFM. What's in it for me? So when you can't call them up, I can't call, for example, Christy and go, hey, Christy, you know what? I need you to work harder this month because we want to go to Disney World for Christmas and we need some new shoes and you need to work harder. She's going to say, take a hike, Darin, lose my number, never call me again. But if I call Christy and say, hey, refresh my memory on why you're working the business. Where are you now? Where do you want to be by the end of the month? Okay. Are you in or are you out? Basically not saying it just like that, but is that something you would like to do to run for this rank? And I'm even looking at her organization and where she is before I call her because I know awareness leads to change. And most people, they don't know about promotions. They don't understand the promotions. So once I explain that to her, she goes, yeah, I'd love to do that. Well, great. The good news is the company, the leadership is going to help us get you there sooner than later. So we have these blitzes in place, get them to watch this replay, right? And then they'll understand the importance of it. And then when you write that down with your organization, hey, I've got 2 people over here and 3 people over here. And again, if you don't have an organization yet, don't worry about it. That will come. Every distributor started out with just themselves. No one started out with a big team, right? You'll get there. But if you do have, how many in each of your legs can you have running now at the beginning of the month? Because the more exposures you get this week, and by the way, it's easier to build fast than it is to build slow. And your exposures are your miles per hour. So if you want to get somewhere faster, you just go faster. So when you expose more people, you're going to get there sooner than later, right? So you're going to expose those people. The next week, it's going to compound. The next week, it's going to compound. And you're going to look back and you're going to feel so good at what you've accomplished, even if it's not the results that you want, right? It doesn't matter because you've done the activity. So let me know in the comments if you are in. I would love to see. If you're in for the Blitz, you're like, look, count on me. I'm going to do a minimum of 5 a day for the next 5 days. And so Sterling and Meredith, I know you're probably watching. Look at all the names. I want you to look at them. And here's what I would do. I would share with your upline leadership, copy 2 or 3 of them and go, hey, listen, I just got off that training. And I just want you to know I'm committed because I want to go out and I want to go on this 90-day hustle is what we're calling it. 90-day hustle. And share with your goals. Put that accountability out there, right? Accountability. We will never get to where we should be without accountability in any and every aspect of our life. And you're putting it out for you, not for them. And then if you have an organization, lead from the front. Show them, hey, look, I'm not just going to talk about it. The more we walk the walk, the less we have to talk. And so I am proud of each and every one of you. Vanessa, if you can let me know, am I missing anything? But again, I'm hoping that everything that I went over with you, which was a lot, but I wanted to get your philosophy right. And again, this month, let's just focus on this month. What are you listening to? What are you reading? Who are you associating with? Don't engage in negative conversations. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. Don't focus on where you've been. Don't look back unless you want to go that way. Focus on where you're going. And I'm going to tell you, you will be shocked. This is not just a change of your business. This has the ability to change every aspect of your life, and not just your life. My children, I have people going, Darin, oh my gosh, man, your children, they have been around network marketing, positive thinking, personal development, and these things have been drilled into them. So their philosophy is different than a lot of kids because they know garbage in is garbage out. So if you want to change your life, you change your thinking, right? I've never known a negative person to have a positive life. And what you think about, we really do bring about. And so let's go out there. Let's crush the month of July, right? Is it going to be fun? Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I've had, and let me share this with you. Last thing, I'm sorry, Vanessa, just real quick. I've had people go, Darin, you don't understand. Like, I've got kids. And I'm like, really? Like, I got 5 kids. Well, you don't understand. I got a business. Really? You got 2 franchises, and one of them got robbed. And like, thank God my mom was 15 minutes late. They probably would have killed her. They took a crowbar and tore the whole place up. And then we had an employee we thought we trusted that stole, we're guessing, $50,000 to $100,000. Well, Darin, but I've got my anniversary coming up this weekend. I've missed my anniversary some. And you may go, oh my gosh, man, your poor wife. Ask my wife if she minds. Because now for the last 20 years, we've been stay-at-home parents. We could celebrate our anniversary every day of the year. And we got to do things most couples only dream of. Well, Darin, my kid's birthday is this weekend. I've missed some of my kids' birthdays. And you go, well, terrible dad. Ask my children if they mind if we celebrated a week early, right? Or a week late. Our kids, they live a dream life. They've had an amazing life thanks to this profession. So remember, I was the one that was bankrupt on my knees getting my girls money for Disney World, car repossessed, college dropout, went to the doctor on antidepressants. If I can do it, you can do it. But it's work. But I don't know of any other place where we can go out and work for the next 3 to 6 months. And you have the potential to have a completely different life, to live it on your terms. When those same people, like they did to me, go, Darin, when you going to Disney World? When are you coming home? I'm like, well, we're ready, because we have no job. We can do what we want, when we want. So to me, it's not the money. It's what the money allowed us to do, which was do what we want to do with who we want to do it, whenever we want to do it. And it's fun. Embrace the challenge. We're going to have a bunch of a great time. So I'm going to thank you in advance for the memories we're going to create over the next 30, 60, 90 days. So Vanessa, if I missed anything, let me know. I'll mute out. And I really appreciate you allowing me to jump on here. You're doing an amazing job. Sarah's doing an awesome job. I am amazed at all. When I was in the home office, they were talking about all the different plates you were spinning. I'm like, this is a dream team. So I'm blessed to be a part of it temporarily and excited to work with everyone.
Yes, we're blessed to have you on board. Can you hear me okay? Because I realized my other mic was not, I heard my sound wasn't good.
Yeah, that sounds much better.
Okay.
Much better, yes.
The little mic was like behind and underneath something. So I apologize. All right, everybody. So I'm just going to add a couple of things just to clarify some of the specifics for our ATM pages in case you don't know exactly where to find them. That was amazing, Darin. Like I said earlier, I could listen to you ongoing. I know that all of you guys are taking rapid notes because he's just like all the gold nuggets, one after another. So if you are not a member of our ATM pages, I'm going to give you the information right now, and you definitely want to reach out to your upline presidential founder, or a sideline. Anyone basically that you're Facebook friends with that's already a member of one of these groups can add you to the groups, but you do have to be added by someone. So they're private, hidden groups. They can't, you can't search them. We have it set up that way purposely so that when you add your prospects, we can track who was added by who. So we can always, if a prospect says, oh my goodness, this is amazing, how do I order? We as admins of the page can go back, find who added that person to the group and connect them back to you to make sure that they order with you. So we have 2 separate ATM groups. One of them is specifically focused on the products and the other is specifically focused on the business opportunity. So depending on what your prospect is interested in, you can add them to one or both of the groups. We also have a script that we worked on. So we have some very specific language that you can reach out with, that you can write in messages to people, and that's in your back office. It's uploaded in your back office as well as was emailed out, I believe last night. So you should have that in your email attached to the weekly email that you got from corporate, and also in your back office. So you have an ATM script, how to use the ATM system. The product group is called Green Compass Product Hub, and the business opportunity group is called Green Compass Business Hub. So you can see all the details of how to use the ATM system. There's also, if you go to the Green Compass Advocate Forum, our training group, and you search ATM in the search bar, you'll find the training I did on how to use the ATM system in more detail. If this is your first time hearing about it and you want some more guidance, I actually did share my screen and walked everybody through how to find the group, how to add members, how to tag, how to message if Facebook's not your thing and you need a little bit more guidance. There is a full training on using the ATM system in our group that you can search for. So make sure that you're a member of those 2 groups, obviously, because going from here on out, our Blitz this week is adding 5 people to each of those groups every single day for the next week until we meet again next Thursday at 9 p.m. for our next Blitz. So get yourself all set up if you are not
set up already. And let's get out there and crush this week, guys. So excited for what's to come in July. So excited for all of the energy I'm seeing from all of you guys. And so excited for Summer Summit. So we are busy getting an amazing event ready for you. So if you do not have your ticket yet, make sure you grab your ticket. I don't know if there's still any journals left, but we did have a few journals left for the first 500 tickets that were sold. So I know we had very few. Definitely, if you haven't done that yet, grab your ticket so you have a personalized journal for Summer Summit. Anyway, hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we really appreciate you getting on and getting this training to better yourself and grow your business. Have a great night.